Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Black Accountant. It's your boy Mo. If you haven't already, so go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and let me know of any kind of content you want to see going forward, and also subscribe. So today I actually wanted to walk you through my LinkedIn, if anything. I actually do LinkedIn optimizations as part of the Resumade Consulting stuff. So I thought it would be a good idea to go through and look at my actual profile on LinkedIn. Um, it is outdated, so it's a little bit hypocritical of me, but I'm actually going to go through it and point out a couple of things that I feel are wrong with it and some of the things I think are right with it as well. Just so that you have a little bit more of an overview. And for those of you who are new to LinkedIn overall, this could be somewhat helpful because it's broken down into sections when you're filling out your profile. So you might want to make sure to optimize it towards whatever goal it is that you have with it. So right off the bat, the first thing you're drawn to is there's a picture of the individual, aka me. But this picture is a little bit old, and if you can get it done in a studio, that would be great. I know a lot of people can't do that, so if you could take a really good high resolution photo as well, you can do those with a lot of the newer phones, and that could be something that you post over here. But you want to make sure that it's something professional and not something that you post or use for your Instagram or Facebook. You want it to be something a little bit more professional because this is a professional network. Also, for the back cover, a lot of people either put their university or the company that they're currently working at. I actually wanted to put something for Resumade, but I'm in the process of getting that done and working it out. That's why it's still blank over here. So that's something that I would include. And a lot of times, these areas actually populate based on the rest of the information that you put in. So let's go to the about section. I actually haven't touched this or looked at this in a couple of years. So let's see. I think the last time I edited it was just to change like student to associate. But I think my computer's lagging a bit. Let's see. So it's a little bit long, so I'm not going to spend the whole time reading it, but I'm probably just going to go through this first section where it says, I'm further developing my interest in tech consulting and data analysis, especially as it pertains to emerging tech, such as extended reality and IoT through new experiences and learning opportunities. I've been a student all my life and I've now been working for over 7 years. I believe that regret for the things you do. It's a little bit cringy, but at the same time, I'm kind of giving more of a backstory to who I am as an individual. This is usually a section people use to be a little bit more braggadocious about their accomplishments and things that they've done throughout their career. But since I am a new associate and I'm just coming straight up out of school and I'm still developing my business, I figured I'd make it a little bit more about myself as an individual so that people have a better idea of who I am when they visit my profile page. That being said, it still does need to be updated because I have Microsoft Office listed here. And for those of you who know me, I'm really anti-posting Microsoft Office unless you have some kind of certification in it. And I do have certifications in some of the Microsoft Office suite, but they're very outdated because they're from the 2010 version. So I do need to get that done and then post it if that's something I'm going to be putting up there. And then, the activity section is always going to show how whatever it is that you post, whatever it is that you comment on. So this section isn't really something you can do too much about other than being active on LinkedIn. But I do want to talk about the experience section. So a lot of times people go into full-blown detail over here. And the reason I don't is because while I do want to show that progression, it actually looks a lot cleaner when it's blank and you're saving a lot of that information for your resume. A lot of times in my experience, especially this experience here, I used to do sales and we spend a lot of time on LinkedIn looking at people's profiles. And when somebody's profile has a description and you know what they're about, it leaves more room for solicitation, especially when it comes to trying to land sales. So I tend to keep a lot of this stuff blank because while there is no actual descriptions here, you actually already can tell that I've had experiences in different types of areas. You may not know exactly what kind of experience, but based on the job title, you can kind of infer. But I did want to show that just because it gives a little bit more of a discussion point, especially when I'm interviewing. I found that helps a lot. The education section, you do also always put in whatever school that you're studying at, if you have it, or whatever school you graduated from. I'm not a fan of the way that I've did this over here, and in a lot of the newer optimizations that I've been doing, you don't need to include your awards and the clubs that you've been doing under this same section because they have their own sections. So that's something that you would include there as well. Licenses and certifications. This is where you would put any kind of, obviously, license or certification that you have. This is just kind of an area that you would showcase. You don't always need to throw every single thing that you've done onto your LinkedIn page. You do want to put whatever is relevant to the career at hand or the career that you're trying to go for. And then word your descriptions or word everything in a way that appeals to that industry. So again, some of this stuff is outdated. I wouldn't have this here anymore, so that's probably something I'm going to delete later. I probably work on put in some of the certifications that I have gotten since then, and then just go with that. Volunteer experience. This section is somewhat debated, but for me, I like to include my volunteer experience because it's something I really like to talk about, and it's something that resonates with me, and that's something I want people to know about me when they see it, because everything I do is with an intention and a purpose. And I think this draws out a lot more conversation with other people because you can see things that you relate to. You can also ask about that kind of experience, especially like I was saying, going into a new conversation with somebody that I don't know. These are things that I might want to talk about. And that's part of also doing your research. Whenever you're coming in for a job interview, this is kind of a little bit of a sidebar. Look them up on LinkedIn and see the types of stuff that they've done and what their experience is. It gives you a lot more room for talking points. And also at the same time, it helps you get to know people a little bit faster and better. And I had listed accomplishments up top, but this is something that you might want to list at the bottom too. But that's kind of my profile section. Like I was saying, going through this, I realized a lot of it is outdated, and that's something I do need to go ahead and fix. That's probably something I'm going to be doing later on. But also going back to the home page, there's a lot of other cool things that you can do on LinkedIn, but I don't really want to run too much overtime, so I think I might save that for another video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and how do you use LinkedIn? Are there any tips or strategies that